Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It's that time of year again. The Grammys are, as of recording this, they are next week. And I've made my predictions yet again. So let's just get right into it. I'm gonna start with the later categories first, just for some, more engagement, Alright. First up I have Best Album Cover. I picked Glory for this one. It was by Perfume Genius or something. I thought it was just that's what I think the Grammys are gonna give it to, the Academy or whatever. I just think it was very artful, and I think it was better than the other options. Personally, I think The Crux by Joe. I think that's probably the best cover. I don't know. It's just very visually appealing to me. That's why I picked it. Alright, best music video. This one I was a little confused on. I didn't know what they'd pick, but I think Young Lion by Sade is what they'd go with, because the themes on it are like themes they want to highlight, and it was very like family oriented, stuff like that. Personally, I really want Love by OK Go to win. OK Go is some of the best music video groups of all time, like Here It Goes or whatever that one song's called, the YouTube one with the treadmills. Just classic group for that. I think it could go to Anxiety or Manchild though, just as easily. Those aren't bad, but personally I think Love is the best, and then So Be It is second, and then Manchild. Alright. Next up, we have Best Score Soundtrack for Visual Media, includes film and television. I think they are handedly going to give this to Wicked. I have not seen Wicked. I do not particularly want to watch Wicked. I don't think I'd be a good demographic or target audience for them, for that type of movie. But I see how people think it's popular. It's based off of a play. I think the play is probably better than the movie, but some of the songs, they are pretty catchy. And Ariana Grande's got a great voice. So does Cynthia Erivo. So yeah. Personally, I'd give it to Severance Season 2 soundtrack. I really love Severance, and I think the soundtrack in that is just so ominous, and just it's great, and it's perfect for the show, what it sounds like. Also Sinners, the Sinners soundtrack, that was produced by Ludwig Göransson, who was a longtime collaborator with Childish Gambino. That also could take it, but because it's got the like down home, like the Robert Johnson type guitar, stuff like that bluesy southern sound. But I think Severance is more, I don't know, it's just better for the movie, almost, for the show, for the piece of media it's representing, so to speak. Maybe you guys get it. Maybe. All right, after that we've got Best Bluegrass Album. I think this one, I didn't really listen to a lot of these albums, but I think they're gonna give it to Arcadia by Alison Krauss. It's by someone else too, but I think it's going to that because Alison Krauss is just a force to be reckoned with in that country, Americana, bluegrass genre, everything around there. And I think she is a great artist, worked with a lot of great people, and I think it could go to her. But personally, I think it should go to Highway Prayers by Billy Strings. I love Billy Strings. You guys know that. I just think it might be a little too far diverted from the bluegrass sound they're looking for, so to speak. Does that kind of make sense? Maybe? Alright. Best Country Solo Performance. Last year, one of my gripes with the Grammys was they didn't really have a lot of like country that I felt was popular at the time, the like indie country stuff, like the Zach Bryan, the Tyler Childers, that type of stuff. I think they did great this time though. I think they're going to give it to Bad As I Used to Be, which is a Chris Stapleton song off of the F1 soundtrack. Just because Chris Stapleton is that guy that really has helped push country to that more alternative soundscape, I feel like. Like, he's one of the classic country artists that is really helping that, and he's a great artist. Personally, I would give it to I Never Lie by Zach Top. I think this is a great song. Zach Top is a great artist, and it just reminds me like the country of my youth and stuff like that, and I think that's just great. Also, Nose on the Grindstone by Tyler Childers. I love this song. I don't know if it's like the same realm of country as these other songs are, but also just great. But it's very heavy, and that's why the Zach Top song, I feel like, is better. All right, we're going to go best rap song now. This one, I think they're going to give it to TV Off. We know that Kendrick can win big, and they like Kendrick as of what happened last year with the sweep and stuff like that. And I think he's still, like, culturally relevant enough for them to give him the award for this. And I think TV Off is a pretty good song. It's not better than these other ones, but it is still a pretty good song. I think the best rap song this year was TGIF by Glorilla. I'm just kidding. That's a pretty decent song, but I hope they don't do that. I think it should go to Birds Don't Sing by Clips. Just an emotional song. They performed it at the Vatican City, and so it's got that like wide appeal. Pharrell produced it. Like, it's just got everything going for it, and I think it's one of the best off of Let God Sort 'Em Out. All right, speaking of Let God Sort 'Em Out, we've got best rap album. I think they're gonna give it to GNX, as previously stated, with Kendrick reasons, but I think Let God Sort 'Em Out is just a better project. There were better like rap albums that came out in like GNX and stuff like that, but I think ultimately Let God Sort 'Em Out is just my favorite version of what they chose to put up there. All right. Best rap performance. This one is actually a tougher one. I believe Luther was up for this one. I don't think they're going to give it to Luther, though. I think Kendrick's going to have a lot of wins. And I think that Tyler actually is going to win this one with Darling I, which features Tizo Touchdown. Love Tizo Touchdown. Great for him. Hopefully he's wearing a cool outfit and is at the Grammys. I think Darling I is probably one of the best off Chromacopia, because it's just not like as emotionally heavy as the other tracks, but it is still very emotionally driven, and I think it's just a great sounding track. And then I think Chains and Whips is the best out of these. Kendrick goes off on this song. Clips, they're Clips. They're them. They're great on everything they're doing so far. All right, best R&B song. I think they're going to give it to Crybaby by SZA. Personally, I think that Vibes Don't Lie is the best for this category. I really like Leon Thomas, and I think Vibes Don't Lie is a pretty good song. That leads us into our next one, best R&B performance. I think they're going to give it to Heart of a Woman by Summer Walker. I think the Grammys like Summer Walker, or at least that like style of R&B seems to be very popular with them, and that's why I think it's going to go there. But I think the Mutt Tiny Desk version, it takes it for me. All right, best alternative music album. I think they are obviously going to give this to Songs of a Lost World by The Cure. It's that type of comeback record that the Grammys loves to award, and it's pretty good too. So I think it goes there. Personally, I'd like to see Don't Tap the Glass win this. It's against a lot of different albums by a bunch of different people. it's just against a bunch of styles, and I feel like it's different than all the other styles it's up against, but ultimately, I think it's just a great project. Yeah, but the things that Don't Tap the Glass was up against, Ego Death at a Bachelor Party, I'd be fine with that winning too. I think that has a pretty good shot. And Sable Fable has a great shot, the Bon Iver project too. So, you know, ultimately, at the end of the day, I do want to see Don't Tap the Glass win, because I think it'd be cool to have hopefully a win from something off Chromacopia and from Don't Tap the Glass. I think that'd be, I don't know what other artists have done 2 albums, one for 2 different albums in the same year, but I don't know. I think it would just be unique overall. Best alternative music performance. I think they're gonna give it to Parachute by Hayley Williams, which is a great song and very I don't know, very deserving of the award. But ultimately, I think Seeing Stars by Turnstile also has a shot, but I think Everything is Peaceful Love by Bon Iver is my favorite just out of this list. Yeah. All right, best alternative music performance is what I just did. Sorry. Best rock album. I think they're gonna give it to I Quit by Haim, Haim. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the album just seems to be very liked by the masses, and I don't know, it just seems like a safer pick. I think they also could very easily give it to Private Music by Deftones. That's probably the most deserving. I haven't listened to that project, but I know Deftones is really good, and that's probably just the most deserving. But I like Never Enough in this category. As long as it's not Idols by Youngblood, I'm fine with it. But Never Enough was a really good album by Turnstile. Best rock song, I think they're going to give it to Never Enough, and I think Never Enough is the best. Best rock performance, I think they're going to give it to, how do I pronounce this? Murtazapine by Hayley Williams. That was off of the Eco Death at a Bachelorette Party album. I think that's pretty good, but I think Never Enough should take it. But Never Enough's not going to win both of them, so yeah. It'll probably just be split. Best dance/electronic album. I think that they're going to give this to You Sexua by FKA Twigs. I've never listened to FKA Twigs, but I hear that a lot of people like this project. A lot of people like FKA Twigs overall. Personally, I think it should go to either 10 Days by Fred Again. I don't think Fred Again has, like, very cohesive projects, so that's what the drawback is for me. But, oh my gosh, Fred Again is so good. Like, if you're on a run and you're listening to Fred Again, you're having a great time. Well, you're not having a great time because you're running, but you're motivated. But I think Fancy That by Pink Panthers should take that. I love Pink Panthers, and I think it's a great dance album. It just depends on, like, how much they're leaning, if they want to focus on dance or electronic, because those are ultimately 2 different styles, and, like, Fred Again is electronic, but Pink Panthers is dance, you know? I think Rufus Du Sol is electronic, so Skrillex. So ultimately, I think if they just wanted to go dance, Pink Panthers is the best option by far out of these 4. All right. Next up, we have the best dance pop recording. I think they're going to give this to Abracadabra. I strongly dislike this song. I don't know what people see in this. I think it's just a weird song, and I think it's gross. I don't really like the lyrics. It just sounds just agitating to me overall. I don't know why I don't like it. I just don't. I can't really stomach it. Something about it. The things it's up against, I think it'll beat pretty handedly because they do really like Abracadabra. I think it should go to Illegal by Pink Panthers because I am the biggest Pink Panthers stan. But things it's up against, Midnight Sun by Zara Larsson. I think that probably has a shot. And then Just Keep Watching by Tate McRae. Also a decent song, but I don't think they're going to give that to Tate. So ultimately, I think they're going to give it to Abracadabra, sadly. Best dance slash electronic recording. I don't know what the difference. Oh, that last one was pop. This is just dance and electronic. This one was really hard for me. I think they're gonna give it to End of Summer by Tame Impala. They seem to like Tame Impala from what I can remember. And I think this was a weaker album, but I think this song was pretty good. Ultimately, though, my favorites were either, I can't pick really. This one's hard. I really like Space Invader by K Tronada. That project he released was a pretty good project for it being as short as it was. But I think Victory Lap I prefer more. And this is the regular Victory Lap, not the version with Hanuman Kind and Denzel Curry. But Victory Lap is just so fun. Fred again just goes off on this. I'm not really sure what Black Boy Max does on the song, but it's cool to have that name attached, I guess. And then Skeptic goes off, so I don't know, great song. All right, best pop vocal album. This is a pretty stacked category. I think the weakest on here is I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 2 by Teddy Swims. I feel like that released like 3 years ago. Ultimately, I think they're gonna give it to Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter, and I think that's probably the most deserving out of this list. It wasn't better than Short and Sweet, like hits-wise, but it was more cohesive from what I remember. I think Mayhem has a shot, but I think they might save Mayhem for a bigger category. I heard Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus was really good too. And I like Swag, but I think Swag is too like R&B to be winning a pop vocal album category. Okay. Best pop duo slash group performance. I think they are going to give this to Apete by Rose and Bruno Mars. And I think Apete is probably the most deserving out of this. They could give it to something like Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, but I don't know. I just don't think... I just have a feeling that they're not going to, like, respect that as anything but a movie song, so to speak, when they should be respecting it. Because, I mean, it's catchy, and, like, it was a huge hit, so, yeah. Defying Gravity also could take this, but I just don't know how, like, wicked they're gonna be, because that was like 2 years ago, which is a while back now. Yeah. 30 for 30 also has a shot, but I think that was weaker of the like 3 that SZA and Kendrick did. All right, next up we have best pop solo performance. I think they're gonna give this to The Subway by Chappell Roan. I think The Subway's a pretty good song. Not as good as, like, all the Chappell songs last year, but I don't know. I think there's something about this that it's just, like, this is her category to lose. Because ultimately, she's singing better than Sabrina, Justin, Lady Gaga, and Lola Young on this song, like, comparatively. Personally, I think Daisies by Justin Bieber is the best, but that's because I just really like that song. But yeah, the subway might be my favorite, like, the more I'm thinking about it. But yeah. All right. Now we have best new artist, I think. Yeah. I'm getting lost, sorry. Best new artist. I'll just read out the list for you guys. We've got Olivia Dean, Cat's Eye, The Marias, Edison Ray, Somber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, and Lola Young. This is a very good list, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know anything about Cat's Eye. Everything else I do have an opinion on. Personally, I think they're gonna give it to Addison Rae. I think she had a great year. That project was pretty good from what I've heard. And yeah, I just don't think, like, these other people are that, like, have made that much of a splash Well, that's not even true. But I think that Addison Rae just had, like, a huge breakout. Like, not entirely sure how to explain it, but I don't know. I just have a deep gut feeling that Addison Rae is going to win this category overall. I'm fine with them giving it to anyone except for Alex Warren. I don't know. I just don't really like Alex Warren. I think it's just too, like, industry plant-ish, because, like, he was famous from, like, the Hype House and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just something's off about it to me. I think Olivia Dean should win this, though. I love Olivia Dean so much, and oh my gosh, she's so good. And I mean, this was really her big breakout year. All right, Song of the Year. I think that they are going to give it to... This is a hard one. I'm between two. I think they're going to give it... I don't know. This is really tough. I'm between Anxiety and Apete. Apete was a while back, and Anxiety is ultimately flipping a sample from a song that everyone knows. I don't think Anxiety is that bad. I don't know what everyone really complains about. I think they just don't really like Doechii. Doechii's a good artist, like, plain and simple. But I think they're going to give it to Apete. Luther could sneak in here too. I don't think Manchild's getting it. I don't think Wildflower's getting it. I don't think that was big enough. Golden, I think they have something against movie songs. So yeah, I think Apete is going to take it. I really like that song. It's just a nice track to listen to. But Anxiety could win this one. I said that Manchild should win because, okay, this is a songwriters award too, and I feel like the themes on Anxiety are pretty good. Apete has very, very weak lyrics, but I think they might just give it to Apete anyway. Abracadabra should not win this. The lyrics are awful on that. DTMF should win it. Or, I mean, I think Luther's a little weaker too. That's why I didn't go with that for the songwriting. I think Manchild or DTMF should win this. But I think Anxiety or Apete are going to win it. All right. And then we have Record of the Year. This is our second to last one. I think they're going to give it to Abracadabra. As much as I really don't want that to happen, I just think they're going to give it to Abracadabra. Because the production on that is just something that they like to award. And it is unique comparatively. Like, it's better than Manchild. It's better than Anxiety. It's better than Wildflower. I don't know if it's better than Luther. Luther's pretty good too. It's better than Subway. It's better than Apete. But yeah, ultimately though, I think that DTMF should win. I just think it's great. The horns and stuff like that are great. The group vocals, just, I love that song overall, and I think it's great, and it should win. All right, Album of the Year. I think they're going to give this to Mayhem, and I think that Lady Gaga is going to be going home very, very happy. Personally, I think that I'd be fine with Chromacopia or Mutt. I don't think Mutt has a snowball's chance in hell, but I'd like to see it there. And then Chromacopia is good too. Oh, and Let God Sort 'Em Out. I just don't think that they're going to award a rap album, especially like a rap album with like that like punchy of lyrics and that lyrical themes of drug dealing and stuff like that. They're just not going to give it to that. But I think that Debí Tirar Más Fotos by Bad Bunny should win. I think he's going to have a great year with the Super Bowl coming up and stuff like that. And it was my favorite album of the year. So just ultimately, I think that's who should get it. All right, guys. We'll see how these shake out, who wins, stuff like that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.